Sweet. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Path of the Brush. I'm your host, Rick, coming to you live in Lansing, Michigan at the Hoplite Games back room. Uh, we are going to be painting some really cool stuff today from Simon Games, some of the chibi miniatures from the Marvel United board game. And Will and Mark will be joining me. Hello, Will. Hello, Mark. Look at those
Oh,
guys.
Oh,
hello.
Hello. Welcome. Welcome. It's so nice to see you.
yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be painting some Marvel United figures. Mark, Will, what are you guys going to be painting?
I will be painting Captain America.
Sweet.
I
Look
can.
at that guy.
There he is.
So nice.
So chibi and primed.
Prime time. You're asking if that was a Hulk in my pocket, or was I just happy to, and yet indeed it was the Hulk.
Prove it. Yep. Nice. You know what's kind of neat about those miniatures is when you get them in the box for so it's this is the game Marvel United right here, and it is kind of a more of a board game than it is a miniatures game. It just because it's Simon, they got to have miniatures, right? So we have the box comes with a bunch of characters. It comes with the Hulk, the Red Skull, Scarlet Witch, Captain America, Ultron, Taskmaster, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, the Wasp, and Ant-Man. So lots of cool. And what's cool about like Ant-Man is he's on like a quarter, which is kind of neat.
That is neat.
So, yeah, so we're going to be painting these. And then, as always, this is Hobby Hangout. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. If you're painting miniatures, let us know what you're painting in the comments. Just, let us know. Say, hey, I'm painting this or whatever. If you have any questions, also ask because we're going to go off on tangents as we do, talking about our favorite superheroes, our superhero movies, the coolest superhero movie moments, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, let's get into it. I'm actually going to be painting the Hulk as well. And also the Red Skull because he's awesome.
Red Skull is awesome.
Yeah. I always thought it would be funny is if they had different voices or voices that didn't match their bodies or their personalities, right? So, the Red Skull is from Germany and is very Hail Hydra, right? But what if it was like, Hail Hydra, I'm a snake.
Like that YouTube sensation guy.
Yeah. I'm a snake. I'm a slithery little snake.
Oh my God, Zemo! Would you look at his shield?
Right.
It
Why
is
don't
so
I have a
round.
shield? Yeah, it'd be great. We're like, yeah, Hydra. What is the male version of a Karen? Is it a Chad? Is it a Richard?
There is a name for it.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it! I
feel
it.
like Red Skull would be that.
I feel like Todd would be a good one. No offense to your brother.
Yeah, that's actually pretty
Or
funny.
a Tyler or something.
Tyler. That's funny.
There is no real consensus yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Some people say Jethro. Some people say Brad.
The Chad, I've heard. The Chad.
Okay. I think Chad is like one of those names that just gets tagged as a perpetual bro dude.
Right.
So we're using, or at least I will be using some of the new Army Painter War Paint Fanatic paint. And this is just such a smooth paint to put on this Hulk. I'm using green skin, which seems appropriate. And yeah, it just goes right over that miniature so nicely.
I'm bringing out a classic Army Painter D&D from the D&D line, the Treant.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So we'll try that as a little bit of a base coat coming in.
Okay.
I'm gonna try some like neon highlights on top to give it a little bit different Hulk action. But then you gotta do the purple shorts,
Yes.
So I got some alien purple.
Heck yeah, alien purple. And your miniature will, as I'm looking at the Captain America in front of me, It has a lot of small little detail parts.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this this black primer to get in those cracks to
Yeah.
make that a lot easier for me later.
You mean the crevasse?
The crevasses.
The crevasses of the miniature.
Yeah.
I think that was a discussion point a few shows ago.
Mm.
So I've been listening to you guys. You know, my bromance is. Speaking of the Chads, I've been out on vacation the past 2 episodes. So
You have. Was it a vacation or was it
one
work?
was work, and then the other one was a
Mhm.
little more of a vacation type thing. But
Okay.
You going anywhere interesting? Learned anything cool?
I did go up to the UP, and then on the way back, Mackinac Island, which was interesting because it's technically wintertime there. It technically doesn't really open for 2 more weeks. You can go there, but like the stores and stuff aren't open. So if you want to ride bikes and all that stuff, which is really, I don't know if anybody's been there. It's a tourist destination. There's all the kind of like, touristy shops. They do fudge and all this stuff. And there's no cars on this island, and there's horse-drawn carriages and all this stuff. But yeah, none of that. I mean, there was horses and things, but there was no people. So you could literally like walk down the road, and there's only like the workers that were there. Like it almost looked like they're repainting a movie set,
Oh, wow.
in the facade, like repainting the facade and a lot of construction and stuff. But you'd walk down the street sometimes, and you'd be the only person on the street, which it's normally just like jam packed. And so that was kind of a unique thing.
That is pretty cool. I haven't been to Mackinac Island since the 80s.
Oh,
So
it hasn't changed.
I'm sure it has not.
That's kind of the point, right?
Right. It's perpetually somewhere in time, which is the movie
Ooh.
that was shot in Mackinac.
What do you think? I mean, if you were to guess at what era is Mackinac Island perpetually stuck in based on its architecture and, everything?
1890s.
1890s? Okay.
Early turn of the century, 1890s type stuff. I mean, you can rent bikes. I guess you could rent bikes back then. But yeah, it's
Is that post-colonial?
yeah. Well, they have the fort on there, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
That old post. That was
is that is that on the island or is that?
Yeah, they got Mackinac or whatever in Mackinac or St. Ignace there, and then they got the actual Fort Mackinac, which is on the island.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was an old army post, right, or military post.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
A little Michigan history for all y'all.
Yeah, they're revolutionary times. Yeah.
All y'all that don't call pop. We call it soda or Coke.
Now, Will, when you're priming, do you slap chop? That's not the term, but do you tend to still slap chop?
Yeah, that's like my whole thing. I'm just trying to use up some of this primer on stuff that has to be primed before I switch to the next color of it. But I like to go in with a wet black primer and brush it in, get it into the crevasses, the dikes, the valleys, the pits, and then go with the fjords, and then hit the higher points with more of a dry brushing kind of.
Once you get out of the dells, you want to hit the higher points, the peaks.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep, I have also employed that technique, and so right now he's it's like the Metallica, the Black Album. It's like Spinal Tap Black Album. It can't get any blacker than that. I can almost see my reflection.
What a great reference, man. That is so good.
Love me some Spinal Tap.
Heck yeah. Heckin' yeah. So, for everybody watching, if you haven't heard already, Hoplite Games is moving locations.
What?
Already? I know,
That's
right?
impressive, sir.
Yeah, we've only been open 7 months, but we are moving to a larger location.
Where at?
Just 3 doors down. Great band. Yeah, right in the same building structure on the block here, just into a larger space. We're going from about 1,100 square feet to 4,000 square feet, and 2 bathrooms. I'm actually super excited about the fact that there's 2 bathrooms in the new store.
That's
Because
huge.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, because it always seems like when I need to use the restroom, there's somebody in the restroom, and I'm an old man who takes diuretics, and I need to go when I need to go.
And after you use the restroom, someone else might need to use the restroom, and so 2 bathrooms are perfect.
Right.
Yes.
Good.
No, you toured me around the spot.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I did know about this already, and yeah, it is amazing. It's gonna have play space and a dedicated. Right now, you are busting at the seams, right? So you
Yeah.
have, how many tables? About
In the
6
current
play tables?
location?
Yeah, about 6 play tables, and now this will allow you to have about how many?
No, we only have 5
Okay.
tables in the current space, but over there we'll have, just for like miniature wargaming, we'll have, I think we can fit 15 in just a portion of it.
Right, and you'll still have the
Folding
TCG.
tables for
Yeah,
for TCGs. We'll have an area for the Dungeons and Dragons players.
yeah.
We'll have an area for the podcast and the live stream in its own little spot, which is going to be really fun. And then like 1,000 square feet just dedicated, a little over 1,000 square feet just dedicated to retail.
That's gonna be awesome.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's
Super
funny. I was trying to work with Jeff just a little while ago to figure out how we were going to set up tournaments. We had a
Mhm.
conquest tournament that is in the pipeline, right? Like,
Yep.
where were we going to put it? Well, looks like we don't have to go anywhere.
That's right. We will facilitate and accommodate all the things that we're going to have to potentially, if we stayed in this location, source out. And I like the fact that we don't have to do that no more. And I'm really excited, mainly because for those of you again watching, it's obvious that we like to paint miniatures, right? It's super fun. We all have our different styles and different reasons why we paint miniatures. But on Thursday nights at the store is paint night, and we get people that come in and they paint miniatures with us. We watch 80s sci-fi or fantasy TV or movies, and just have a really good time as a community. And we've had it some nights where we've had 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like 19 or 20 people in here painting at any one time in the small space. I'm excited to see what we can potentially put in the new space on paint night. It's going to be
That's going to be
great.
awesome.
Special events, you could do like the painting with a twist type vibe.
Well, not really.
If you get the right charity at this point, right?
That's where they can drink while they paint, right?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Possibly.
before you get a full on liquor license, you can do the charity liquor licenses. Find
Well,
a
I'm not
charity.
gonna. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. No offense to the idea, because it's a great idea, but a lot of our paint night folks are kids,
Yeah.
all right, and I wouldn't want to like block it. I mean, I'd have to block a whole different day and time out to do something like that. And,
Yeah. Not on your normal day, but if it was a
Right,
special event
yeah.
or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Excluding people is not really what you're up to do.
No.
That's not your
No,
thing.
not at all.
Well, don't exclude people.
Yeah. We will have, like, when we have like a conquest tournament, right? And a bunch of people there, we're going to set up even though we'll have concessions, we'll have a pop-up concessions, and we'll have like a cosplay cafe
Ooh.
where some of my friends that are regulars here at the store will come in and they'll man the cosplay cafe and go around and ask people if they'd like a drink or any snacks or whatever, and take care of all that. Yeah, so they can just stay at their game and not have to worry about stuff.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I just need that
It'll be a lot of
primer.
fun. But
Tell
yeah,
us about this Marvel United. You've played a little bit of this, right?
yeah. So a couple years ago, I went to WonderCon with Simon, and I demoed this game for the whole weekend. So I played a lot of it, and it's a lot of fun. So basically, you have your cards out, and the main mission in the original Marvel United box set is you're trying to defeat the Red Skull, and everybody has a deck of cards for their character that you're playing. And as an example, Hulk has Hulk Smash, deal 1 damage to everything else in this location, because your characters are on the board at different locations going around doing missions and stuff. And discard all this right here would be like um civilians. This little icon of a white head in a blue background is a civilian. And then they have another one for like minions or thugs. And then he can also, I believe this allows him to move one to the right or left or something like that. Captain America, like this one, give a icon. This is a wild card icon or token from the pool to another hero, which is cool because you can spend those tokens on your turn to give you more things to do. And plus, he can also punch a bad guy at that location. And that's just an example of the card. And then interrogate, look at the top card of the master plan deck, which would be the Red Skulls deck. And you may place it on the bottom and also punch somebody in the face. So it's pretty cool. But as you play it, like you'd start off, I play my card, it does its thing. The hero plays the card, another player plays their hero card, another player plays a hero card, then the Red Skull would play a card, right? To affect the state of the board. And then it just goes around this circle until you either are knocked out or you defeat the bad guy, right? And nobody gets killed in the game. You're just knocked out. Right?
Yeah.
And how you get knocked out is the cards represent, your deck is your life, right? And if you run out of cards, you're knocked out.
Okay. That's a fun take on that,
Yeah.
It's inclusive of all age groups.
Yeah.
Which is nice. That's a CMON product, yes?
It is.
So we got a little CMON.com. Check it out. Do they also have a Kickstarter that's erupting or in progress right now?
I think they do. They always do. I don't know what the current one is. They did not mention it to me when I was on the phone with them just like yesterday. So
very odd. I did find it. There it is. There's a Marvel United multiverse.
Is that the newest one?
Yeah, the multiverse. It looks like.
Good Lord.
So they've reached their goal. They're at 4 million, in change, 4.7 or something like that. But last updated April 12th.
Okay.
So pretty cool.
Yeah.
20,000 backers. People like this game.
Well, I think if they don't like the game, they love the miniatures. Right? Like I've seen people that have just gotten the game just to paint the miniatures to put them on their desk at work of their favorite superhero. Yeah. Right? So, and the Hulk is one of my favorite superheroes. He, fun fact, and this is the great thing because CMON isn't sponsoring this, so we can talk about things other than the game. And the Hulk, when he was first printed in the comic books, he was gray.
Yeah.
He was not green. The reason he became green isn't necessarily because of the gamma radiation. It was because there was a color error in the printing of the second issue of the Hulk, and it came out green, and they just went with it, the emerald, giant, which is a cool little bit of information.
That's kind of why they switched back and forth too, and like the Joe Fixit era, and
absolutely.
That's neat.
Joe Fixit. What a great character.
He was kind of a mafioso kind of guy, right?
Yeah. He was like a mafioso / bouncer version of the Hulk. Still had Banner's intelligence, but with the Hulk's like
swagger.
Yeah. That's a great the Hulk swagger. He wore a white like pinstripe suit, a zoot suit or whatever.
That was back when Wolverine's an amazing costume change was wearing a suit and a patch over his eye, and he went with the clever nickname Patch.
Right. I mean, come on.
Wasn't there a
Brilliant.
Joe Fixit and Patch crossover at one point?
In Wolverine, I want to say issue number 4. They're on the cover together. Is those two characters? I
Yeah.
believe it was. If it wasn't number 4, it was issue number 2. But the easiest way to find out is, Google it.
True.
But
Look at
yeah,
the
it's in like one of the first 5 issues of the Wolverine Unlimited series, where he had his own monthly title, and yeah, the whole Patch Mr. Fix-It story arc was right there. And I think they were in Genosha
Oh,
or
okay.
Madripoor.
Madripoor. He's always Patch and Madripoor.
That's right. Everybody has a secret identity there, it seems.
Yeah.
'Cause isn't that where in the Marvel Universe cinematically, where Agent 13 is the big bad girl?
Yes. Yep. They just opened that up with that Cap and Winter Soldier thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right. Which was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good. I gotta see if I can find that. Now, I just the other day I noticed that that one. I don't know if it's Wolverine number 1, but it was one of the early Wolverine comics where it's got the close up of Wolvie's face and his claws are reflecting the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
That's Hulk. That's like Hulk 313.
That's okay, and
Something
that
like
cover has been homaged probably more than any other cover ever.
Well, that one and the one where he's like raking his claws up with Captain America's shield and the sparks are flying. Have you seen that one? Remember that one from the 80s or early 90s?
I don't. I'll have to look for that one. Do you know who the artist was?
I don't.
What was the Hulk anniversary stuff? That was like 400 or something like that, right?
Where he actually had like the chromium cover.
Yeah, like
And he's like standing there in the shadow and Banner.
I feel like it was like around the 390s, 400. That was when I was really into it. It was like that 390 to like 420, 21, something like that.
What did you look up that issue with the cover with Hulk Wolverine claw thing?
I just pulled up the Wolverine that has Joe Fixit and Patch, and I was going to grab that first.
Okay.
This will take people back if they remember it.
Nice. What issue was it?
That is Wolverine 8.
8. Man, I was so far off. I thought it was like in one of those earlier ones.
Let's see. All right, just about got it pulled up here to share.
Right. And if anybody knows what issue was the cover with Wolverine with his claws and Hulk reflecting through the claw.
I found it.
Watch it be in like the 400s or something.
Oh, I got to change the file type. Oh boy.
Should I show it? Should I flash it?
Yeah.
Do it.
Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the one I was talking about. 400.
Oh yeah, that was a great cover.
Good.
Yeah, that was issue 400, and it has like it's not lenticular, but it has a foil. All the silver that you see coming off the crystal prism, all that was like foil of some sort. Yeah.
And there's the Joe Fixit and Patch.
Yeah, it's such a great cover.
That is awesome.
Yeah. He had that flat, like Frankenstein top head too.
Yeah.
Which is always funny. It's so good.
Now I got to hunt down that other cover.
You could probably find it if you just type in top 10 Wolverine covers.
I got it. It came as a web image.
Did it?
Those darn web images.
It gets me
Incredible
every
Hulk
time.
340.
340. Okay.
It's
It's
like
still
a
on the 300.
it's like a race to who gets to post it here.
I don't have the picture. You'll get me on that one.
Yeah, this one is one of the best covers.
Here we go.
Nice.
There it is. And I love that the yellow and brown,
Yeah.
like classic.
Yeah, that's my favorite version of his costume. Unlike the one that he wore when he was first introduced in Hulk 181.
Isn't that the costume he's supposed to be wearing in Deadpool 3? Spoiler.
No, I think it's supposed to be the yellow.
Is it the full on yellow black?
Yeah.
Wasn't it yellow and blue from the X-Men costume?
I feel like it. Yeah, the yellow and blue that he wore in the
97.
the X-Men 1990s relaunch with Jim Lee art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like X-Men Gold, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think he was on the gold team. So what's cool about the Marvel United stuff too is they made a ton of expansions, so you could get like the Guardians of the Galaxy. You can get the X-Men characters. They have Marvel United X-Men was like the second Marvel United Kickstarter that they launched, and it was super cool. Yeah. So they had it's nice as I have all of it at the studio, right? And it is just a
Plethora.
crazy amount of miniatures. It's like easily over 100 miniatures.
You got all of the United.
All the Marvel United stuff up, except for the one that's currently on Kickstarter. Yeah,
Impressive.
it's crazy how many miniatures they made. Like you want Archangel from the X-Men, they have it. It's sick. You want Apocalypse, they got it. So many cool miniatures, and I actually like this kind of art. Some of the characters on my arm, on my tattoos here, are kind of the big head, little body chibi art style. And
I
yeah,
feel like
so I'm a fan.
Spider-Man was one of the first comics to kind of have that aesthetic.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to look at this here. His hair is also green, but I don't know if I want to use the same green. I'm thinking I'm going to go with a darker green for his hair. That's a weird thing about the Hulk is everything is just green.
Yeah, all shades.
All shades of green. I'm going to use Angel Green. It's a little darker. Let's see how that looks. Well, I need to shake that up more. So, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Mark and Will, what was your favorite, like, oh man, that's awesome moment?
In the more recent movies or just ever?
Let's just go with, because there's so many, right? I feel like there's a lot. Let's go with your top 3.
For movies or comics? Or
for
just
movies, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
You going first, Mark?
Here, it's I don't know if it's the greatest ever, but a bit of what I thought was a sleeper would not be as good was like I was blown away by Ant-Man. Like he was never on my radar. Too small. No.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't really on my radar, but the movie was awesome.
I agree.
So I think Paul Rudd did a great job, but that was a shocker. That's not a moment. I'm just buying time right now. But no, that was like truly one of those like, wow, they're doing something different with the movies that, so that's my first one.
Okay. So my first like, oh yeah moment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is when Iron Man in the first Iron Man movie flies into that like town where the terrorists are like being jerks, and he uses the those little dart rockets, and then the big explosion behind him. He's just kind of doing that like that tough guy walk away without looking back thing.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
That's right. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and Iron Man got it down. And I was like, yeah, that's the Marvel universe has landed. And I was like, I got a little emotional, right? Because when you're someone that has a huge fandom around a thing like Star Wars and Marvel and all the different comic book characters, and they do something like that that's just right and really fills and fits to what you would have hoped for, it can be a little bit of an emotional time. And so that's my like number one, like top one, because without Iron Man, I mean, granted, there were some other Marvel movies that came out, Ghost Rider, Blade, that were great, but that was the one that was like, oh man, we're about to get some good stuff. So
yeah, they built a universe around it.
Yep. Thanks, Jon Favreau.
Yeah,
who would have thunk? From Swingers to the Marvel Universe to Mandalorian, pretty wild.
Well, he's a big nerd anyway. He plays Dungeons and Dragons.
Nerd.
I know, right? I love it.
Well, for me, those big moments. Unless you had another answer yet, Mark.
Oh, that's just my number one.
Okay,
I have two more for sure.
Go for it.
I got another one, but yeah, go.
So my number two is when Captain America picks up the hammer and catches it. All right, and he says, "Avengers Assemble." That goosebumps right now thinking about it. Super cool. And my number three is when they're fighting in Wakanda against the Outriders, Thanos' Outriders, and they're breaking in, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Thor's, the Rainbow Bridge, and he lands there, and everybody's just like, yes.
Oh, it's on. Yeah.
Yep. Those are my top three Marvel Cinematic moments up to now.
And you had yours, Mark?
Yeah. So another one would be End of Avengers. We're talking Hulk, when Hulk like just thrashes Loki back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, puny god, it's like
So good.
it's just like but Will, you go. I feel like you're stealing the thunder from me.
All good. Like taking it back to Iron Man, it was close to that moment, but what hit me hard in Iron Man was when he first put on the Mark II suit and then took it out for a flight, and the effects that they had for that, like, to me, they couldn't put effects like that together if they weren't serious about it. So it finally felt like they're taking this seriously now. Right. And then the flight scene was just right. It's so
good.
That out how many years ago now?
I know, right?
12 or 13.
Yeah, it's been.
Yeah. Dangerfield looks like a baby in that movie. But then there's a moment I can't. The first moment that sprung to mind is most of Winter Soldier, as Winter Soldier's just freaking incredible. But in the fight with Batroc, when he just that kick, that kick, like, they do such a good job in Winter Soldier of showing you that, not just telling you, but showing you that Captain America is superhuman.
Right.
He just lays that guy out. He holds onto that helicopter. No, it's not going anywhere. I'm Captain America. Like, oh man, they show don't tell in that movie, and they did that. Just was wonderful. But the third one would be probably like Thor. I think it's Thor, and that's just because the universe was coming together. Once 3 movies came together and they all had the same narrative, the same actors, and they crossed over, and then the trailer for Avengers came out.
Yeah.
That got me.
All right. I love it. Those are great. All right. What else were you there, Mark?
Like Guardians of the Galaxy was another sleeper for me. I think we've talked about this once before, but when they go like they're cruising in on like spaceship, and then Moon Age Daydream, David Bowie happens, and it's just like I don't know. I'm a big music fan. The soundtrack for that movie, all the Guardians movies are epic.
Yeah.
But it was just cool to like, it's all coming together. That was different than the actual comics, right? More comic relief in these movies. But I think like Guardians opened up a lot of people to just Marvel in general, you know?
I agree. Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy, up until the movies, was, by all accounts, a C-list, D-list hero group, right? They're fun for sure, fun reads, and had some really epic storylines, but they weren't the showcase characters that everybody would clamor to go to watch. And then you get a movie by James Gunn, who is known for his ability to weave in witty banter, who also himself is a comic book fan and wanted to be kind of true to the characters and everything, but put a little bit of his spin of humor in there. I think he did a great job. His, like you said, the soundtrack for all of them were just amazing, and they didn't just pay homage to good artists in regards to their music, but to the era in which they were made, right? Because Quinn was abducted, right, when he was a kid in what I think it was like the late 80s, early 90s. And
Early
so
80s. Yeah.
Or maybe even early 80s. Yeah. And so the soundtrack on his cassette, this spoke to that era, and it was so good. And how he weaved in the story that the music was as important to the story as anything else that was going on, right? It was a part of his personality. It was core memories about his mother through the music.
Yeah, maybe some music that his mom would have introduced to him or something.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, that seemed to be the whole thing, right? Because
Mhm.
there was that gift package at the end from his mom. It was a whole nother playlist.
Mhm.
It's like, know how to punch someone right in the freaking heartstrings.
Yeah, he was willing to put everyone at risk because that guy had his Walkman.
Right. So good. Good choice there, Mark.
Yeah, that one was up there for me as well. It felt like once they got to Guardians of the Galaxy,
Mhm.
like they could have just phoned that in, but they they went the other way. They went hard with it, and they went so hard. You couldn't help but love this. You love the C-listers, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Did any of you, and I know there might be some spoilers here for people that may have went out to watch it, but it's been out since Christmas. But did you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special?
That was awesome.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God.
Won't ruin it for you, but it's got, Drax and Mantis are kind of the main characters, right?
I would say so. They drive the story more than anybody else. And it's funny because, and this isn't a spoiler because it was in all the commercials. I mean, they abduct Kevin Bacon.
The Kevin Bacon
as Kevin Bacon to bring him as a gift for Quinn.
Yeah, they were 1 degree to Kevin Bacon. That's pretty
so good.
But
that's a theater nerd reference for anybody who is not in theater. There's a degrees of Kevin Bacon separation game.
Yeah, it's so good. And you also get to see like just how powerful like Mantis has become.
Oh yeah, that showed her powers, which are pretty.
She's strong.
Yeah, that's always like in the comics. She was pretty potent, but that they didn't really shine that through.
Yeah, Hulk's coming along.
I used a polyurethane primer, which was a no-no, so I won't be painting much color on them today.
Uh-oh.
Man, to dry them off.
Uh-oh.
Oh, was he still wet?
He's still all damp. Yeah.
Oh no.
The plastic that these are, it's nice moldable plastic, but it doesn't. Certain plastics will like suck up the paint a little bit more, a little more porous, right?
Yeah.
Kind of riding on it like an oil slick.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure, guys. Hey.
Hey, that's how he should be. Should be a Canadian Red Skull.
It's like,
You
Oh,
thought
hey,
about
guys.
riding the moose?
hey guys, you can't do that, eh? You're gonna take all the maple syrup? Oh, hail Hydra, eh?
I'm sorry, but if we cut off one head, two more shall rise.
Two
Eh?
more.
You're gonna eat all that bacon, Canadian bacon over there? Eh?
Oh, so good. So angry. All right, some pure red. Boop. Boop. Gonna put a little.
You ask what I'm doing in the background here? I'm getting ready to put this fella together.
Who's this fella?
Oh man,
What?
big
What is
guy.
that?
He's the Mountain Yachtner
The
from
Mountain
the
Yacht-
Contest game that we did a few episodes back. But now
Nice.
his body is in pieces. He's mostly resin, so don't huff it. You don't want to get the resin into your lungs. But yeah, I found that you have to slightly score the bits that are going to actually go together, and then you actually have to wash them. So you got to scratch it a little bit, but you don't want to get any of that in your lungs because it doesn't actually adhere very well because it's so smooth, even with the super glue.
Well, you want to wash it first because the release compound that they use. Yeah, if you wash that first, maybe it'll glue.
So yeah, I've got a toothbrush that I'll use right afterward, but scrub them down with a little soap and water, soap and water.
All right. The Red Skull sculpt for this game is so amazing. The only and what's funny is the game is the Tesseract is a piece, right? Let's see if I can find it in here.
It's like a piece that you play with. We're on the top-down view of you, so let's see that.
Let me see if I can find the Tesseract.
Hot dirty Tesseract.
That is a great chibi skull. That's just an angry face.
He's so angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His little buckle. Oh man.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
If he wasn't such a Nazi, he'd be cute.
Oh man, I can't find the Tesseract cube in the box here. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh, is it? Nope. Dang it. No dice. Oh well. Because you know that his pose is when he's holding the Tesseract in his hand. Right? Which becomes, I believe, or is the Space Stone. For the gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. I don't know if it was that before. I remember the Cosmic Cube was a big thing. Wasn't that a Secret Wars thing?
The Cosmic Cube?
Yeah.
When I think, you and I probably think about the Secret Wars in two different.
There was a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I think Secret Wars, I think of the Battle Planet, the 12 issues limited series where all the main characters and villains get sent to this battle planet that is, just parts of other planets have been ripped and formed into one big planet. And the big bad guy is Dr. Doom in the beginning, and then it becomes Galactus shows up, and then the Beyonder, come to find out, was the reason behind the whole thing.
Was that the first Secret Wars? Usually it's Dr. Doom behind Secret Wars.
It's Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, and it's from 1980, maybe 85, 86.
Okay.
12-issue limited series. It's super good. Issue number 8 is where Spider-Man gets
the
black costume for the first time.
It is only 80s? I thought that was earlier for some reason.
And it's where that black costume turns out to be the symbiote that will become Venom.
That happens during the Secret Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget to brush your resin miniatures with a little soapy water.
Good call, brother. Good
I guess
call.
you should actually do that with some of the like other ones, like some of the, even maybe the Xenon ones, the release, because I've got Rising Sun over here that had a little bit of
No, I can see that.
on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some plastic miniatures too. Like depending on the company, they'll still have that release compound in there.
Yeah.
Which is something I didn't learn. If your paint's peeling off, that might be why.
There you go.
Wasn't there a Secret War that happened in 94?
They had these other ones that had like black covers with like a gold or silver, excuse me, like embossed title. And I don't remember what year they came out. I think they were early 2000s actually. But yeah,
Was
the
it on
other ones.
Planet? Something happened in 94?
They did another Battle Planet one too. Yeah, I don't remember when that took place. I don't think I was actually reading comic books at that time. It was on a hiatus.
There wasn't a Secret War with like there was a Sun Sword or something, right? There was some secret sword.
No, that wouldn't have been until like 2,000 years later.
Oh,
after
okay.
1994. Yeah. And it wasn't really a secret war. It was just the future just got jacked up, right? Because in 1994, for those listening, if you remember, there was a runaway planet from outer space that collided between the Earth and the Moon, unleashing cosmic destruction
How did
and
we forget?
civilization. Well, what's that?
How did I forget?
I don't know. Maybe because the Hadron Collider ripped the universe apart and interposed our universe over another universe, and we were meant to forget because in that version of our reality, it takes 2,000 years before the Earth is reborn. A strange new world filled with savagery, sorcery, and super science.
Super
Right?
science.
I know, right? But apparently one man breaks his bonds to fight evil with his companions Ukla the Mock and Princess Ariel, and with his strength, courage, and fabulous sun sword, he is, as we should all know, our greatest savior, Thundar the Barbarian, who also is a huge fan of. There he is, Thundar the Barbarian, huge fan of maple syrup, apparently too.
Also from Canada.
That's right. He's from Canada and works his way down to the Isle of Manhattan to fight.
People from Saskatchewan right now are like, they're talking about us, eh?
Hey.
Yeah, when I learned in Princess Bride that Australia is peopled entirely by criminals, and I'm learning from Thundar that Canada is peopled entirely by barbarians.
That's right, and mocks.
And mocks.
Mocks.
And maybe princesses.
Yeah, there's at least one princess per original country, I think, that exists. In all actuality, I truly believe that Thundar the Barbarian's main character really is Princess Ariel.
It sounds like the whole story kind of does revolve around her. Like she's just got like people helping her out.
Yep. Thundar's just the hero that they didn't know they wanted or needed, but got. Yeah, the Red Skull. Look at him. So angry.
Grr.
Gonna get under that jaw. His pronounced jaw here. He's such an angry little fella.
He's such a little guy. Such an
hey, little fella, don't be so upset. Don't be upset, little buddy. We got you. There we go.
This is such a change in scale from doing the terrain last week.
Right. That
wrapped up terrain last week.
Yeah, what? He wrapped up. the terrain. I worked and finished up Count Dooku.
Yes, I did finish up my little Obi-Wan. I don't know if I didn't get a chance to show you, but
Oh, nice.
yeah, so
Very cool. I'd fight him.
right,
Yeah, for sure.
the cool little guy.
Hello there.
Hello.
Such a good box set. All right, because I have red on here, I think I'm gonna put some red on Black Widow's little. So she has that little symbol on her chest here. That is the Black Widow red.
The little hourglass.
Yeah.
Oh my.
There we go.
I'm just putting that together now. Like, is that because of her figure or?
No. She's from the Red Room and is super powerful bad guy before she became mediocre powerful good guy. But she's one of my favorite like female characters. Her and Black Cat from Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Kitty Pryde?
No, Black Cat.
Kitty Pryde's from X-Men, and she's one of my favorite female characters. I don't think she gets the respect she deserves.
I see. I'm throwing up lobs for you guys.
Kitty Pryde had a great crossover comic with Wolverine.
Oh man, that's yeah.
That's a love affair?
Huh?
They have a love affair going on?
No, not at all.
No, respect. Raw respect. They're bros, if anything.
Agreed. And the yeah, so she goes and like learns how to fight in Japan. And Wolverine's having a little bit of an existential crisis.
As usual.
As usual. Yeah.
It's kind of his thing.
Agreed.
The best he is at what he does, and what he does is, oh my God, what happened to me?
Right. And he has a thing for redhead women.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, we've all been, well, probably not you, Mark, but been watching the X-Men 97 animated series.
Caught up. I'm not caught up, but I have started it.
Okay.
There's what? I missed 2 episodes?
What?
There's been 4 episodes total?
5. 5.
Damn. What happened to me, man?
You're fired.
I can't believe that they went to Cybertron.
I know, right? How crazy was that? Oh no!
And the battle with Omicron was ridiculous.
I will admit, everything that everybody was putting on socials about the emotional roller coaster that was episode 5 did hit me. I was not prepared for what they did.
No. No. I want to talk about it, but I won't. Yeah. Corey and I just watched that last night, so it's still fresh.
How's she feeling about it?
It's still fresh. It still hurts.
Are we talking like a red wedding situation here? It sounds like it.
It's not one of those moments that you would really expect them to pull off, like, because Red Wedding, if you read the books, you knew it was coming. And while this event does occur in the comics, it's not one that you expect. Not one of the cartoons.
Is it a Days of Future Past type situation?
Yes, something similar to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's raw, which I thought was I think they really hit the mark on it, especially considering I feel like their target audience is not kids.
No.
I think the target audience is the original fans and how they've matured. And that's why I felt like they felt they could go that path.
I want to give a shout out to the animators and how they're choreographing the action for the cartoon. That's been some cool stuff. There's been really well designed
Agreed.
fight scenes. Like that opening fight scene, I like from back in the 90s. You could not convince me that Cyclops was cool. Like
He still can't convince me he's cool.
he's a whiny guy with lasers for eyes. Like he's got
Havoc,
lasers for eyes.
is Havoc his brother?
Yes.
Yes.
Havoc's way cool.
So is Vulcan, if you know who Vulcan is.
He was his cousin.
Brother.
Really?
Yeah.
But they've been making Cyclops cool.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't know how they did it, but they're doing it. It's great. It's a lot of show don't tell, which is another.
Mhm.
It's like a whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, like the Hulk here. He's a grower, you know.
When he gets mad.
Yeah, when he gets mad.
Yep.
And that's best Marvel movie moments. Special credit goes to Puny God.
Puny God. I also thought it was cool that they used Lou Ferrigno to voice the Hulk.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
I met Lou. I met Lou at the Detroit Comic Con.
Motor City Comic Con?
City Comic Con, he was there. Were you there for that?
No. Nope.
That was a few years ago. It was pre-COVID.
No, I didn't live here yet.
Okay, but he was there. I ran in there like a jerk. I didn't buy his photo. I just ran through the line and shook his hand, and he was like, "Okay, thanks," But he thought I bought something. So thank you, Lou, for shaking my hand. And I was a dirtbag to buy it.
Yep. So at Wizard World Philly in 2015, I went out to dinner with him.
What a one-upper you are! God,
Yep. Just felt like doing that. Yeah. But I got invited to dinner with my boss Josh, and with Lou and Ken Kelly, who's has since passed, but he was a world famous. He's an artist who did a lot of like Frazetta-esque
okay.
stuff, a lot of Conan covers for the different novels, and did a lot of like Dungeons and Dragons like stuff. He and was a former Marine, and I'd always pick on him like because we would go out to dinner at a lot of cons together, Ken Kelly and us as a group, and he would talk about being a Marine, and as a corpsman, I would have served a lot. I did a lot of time with the Marines, and I would always look up like these old pictures of like Civil War cavalry, and be like, "Hey, I found your unit picture," and I'd show it to him and stuff, and he'd be like, "If I were younger, I'd kick your butt." I was like, "Love you too, Ken." But what some people might not know is the box art for a lot of the D&D animated series toys from the 80s was his work.
Really?
Yeah, he did all that 80s box art.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's so talented and had such a wide breadth of amazing like opportunities, and
all that's coming back. They're doing a rerun of some of that stuff, right?
yeah.
That's
I'm
not
just sad he's gone.
That's not the same guy who did the the He-Man and Skeletor toy
No.
paintings either, is it? Or is
No,
that a different
no.
guy?
That's a
Okay.
different guy. Yeah, but Ken was a good dude. He's missed. He was one of my like staple hangout buddies at conventions, and it was basically through him we got the opportunity to have dinner with Lou Ferrigno, and yeah, it was a cool time.
That must have meant a lot to you, both as a nerd and as an ex-power lifter too, right? My bodybuilder.
Yeah, what's funny is it wasn't the first time I'd met him. I met him at San Diego Comic Con when I was stationed out in San Diego, and this was after he'd like written this book that he did about his life, and I bought the book, and I'm talking to him, and he's commenting on my physique. He's like, "Oh, you're really big. You really, you look like you are putting in the time." And I asked him, I was like, what can I do to make my chest bigger? And because he has a hearing impairment and he sometimes has some difficulty with some words or whatever, and he's way better now than he ever was. And he said I need to do deep fries, and I was like, I need to eat deep fried fries,
More fries.
more fries. I was like, yes, but no, he was just telling me I need to do deep flies, heavy deep flies to get more gains in my pectoralis muscles, as Stimpy would, no, Ren from Ren and Stimpy would say, I wish I had huge pectoralis muscles. But yeah. And then I also interviewed him at Port City, or not Port City PopCon, Atlantic City Comic Con. And yeah, he was cool then too. That was like the first time I met him as a professional in the industry. And standing next to him, I didn't realize, I had forgotten that he's only like 6'3", 6'4". So I was standing taller than him, and I was like, this does not feel right. He's the Hulk. Can I sit down and make it look like, you know?
He's the larger than life as he is in our mind.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Speaking of when he, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Let's say, speaking of the Hulk, I mean, that was something at that point, because when did that end, technically? That was technically 80s, right? Late 70s, 80s?
It was like 80 or 81.
When it ended or when it began?
When it ended.
Yep. So, like, it was in rerun, because I was born in 80, right? So, it, you know, I may have, you know, my brother's something he would have watched, but it would have been reruns that I would have saw. But that was, you know, some of the first glimpses of Marvel was the Hulk. And then even like there was a Spider-Man movie from 77, 78. It's not great, but I made my parents rent it a bunch of times. That was the time when you like rented a movie and you could only rent like one movie a week or something like that. So my brother hated me because I'd rent that all the time. That and Pinocchio, for some reason, I thought it was cool.
Pinocchio's a great movie.
They went to that fantasy island. It was kind of freaky. It's kind of wild. But anyways, yeah, that for some reason that Spider-Man, the Hulk series, that like stood out in my mind a lot.
Nice.
That Spider-Man series was huge in Japan.
Was it?
Japan took that show and ran with it. They loved Spider-Man from that 70s era Spider-Man show.
Nice.
They kind of like what we did to Power Rangers.
Okay.
Like they did that to Spider-Man. They added more stuff to it just to get some more life out of the footage that they had for the show.
Oh, wow. That's how Saban figured that out.
I think so.
That's nice.
You ever watch the Guyver?
The anime?
Yeah, but they did a live action flick like too back in the it was late 80s, early 90s.
That had Mark Hamill in it, didn't it?
No, that's MacGyver.
He was. I think he was in that Guyver movie. I think he might.
Was he?
Yeah, Mark Hamill was in Guyver.
Oh, the movie though, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the movie.
I thought you said Mark Harmon. Oh. That wasn't MacGyver either.
Mark Harmon.
Back in the 80s, when I was in school, I had a. It's hard for anybody to imagine this now because I was clean shaven, but I had a mullet and I looked very much like MacGyver. Everyone in school called me MacGyver.
Nice.
So, fun
Will, that was not a compliment. Was it? Was it a compliment? Actually, in the 80s, it probably was.
It kind of was, yeah.
I can believe it. You should rock that mullet again. Shave, just go mustache and then mullet.
No.
Can you imagine walking into work that way? People would. I think they would just accept you though, open arms. They would have to.
Oh, there's that Will guy being weird again.
Don't talk to him. He's being weird.
Or just shave the beard and just keep the mustache. Right? The big caterpillar mustache.
Yeah.
Oh,
everybody
man.
loves that.
If I didn't pluck my eyebrows, I'd have a caterpillar just crawling across my face, you know?
Ew.
I know, disgusting.
The scary uncle mustache? I think I'm all right.
You're okay. I'm good, thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
These the red on Captain America's costume. So many things. I'm looking at like the Avengers symbol on his arm. I'm like going, crap. That's gonna be a pain in the hindsight for sure.
Yeah, there's some little bits to pick out on this guy.
Yep. I'm doing his shield right now. Just the red.
I had to look up a reference picture to remember where the stripes went. The red, there's a red on the outside and then white, and then a red on the inside and then the blue.
Yep.
You've got a tattoo to reference.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I mean, I do, but it's not colored in.
Oh.
I wish I had a tattoo to reference in that regard. But I have the box art to reference, which shows him charging forward with a shield.
Oh.
So I got lucky there.
Speaking of getting lucky, and also makes me feel like I got to clean up my area here. It looks well put together when you see this, but if you look around to disarray, and but I did find my purples for my Hulk's pants. So
Yay.
It wasn't actually alien. It's a diabolic plum. And then I went warlock magenta, and then I went a little wild, and I went spellbound fuchsia as I broke the trifecta of the colors to get a little extra fancy pop.
All right.
I got that for some Gloomspite Gits. I decided at your store, actually, I picked up a box, the Vanguard box, which apparently they're discontinuing Vanguard boxes. They're starting some new stuff for Age of Sigmar and I think Warhammer in general. But anyways, I'm not going to make them red. I'm going to make them purple.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, went on a tangent there.
Oh, that's super cool. We got a little spammer in our comments. Thanks, spammer. They're the best.
Aw.
I know, right?
What are they spamming?
How to get more followers.
Some stream boo.
Yeah.
Bad spamming?
Yeah.
Go here to buy eyeballs.
That's right. Thanks, spammer. The one thing I always like get jittery about is these small detail pieces and stuff like this.
Jittery? Like your hands are jittery?
Yeah, my hands get a little jittery.
Let's see these caffeinated hands. We're gonna do a close up on you. Oh, turn it just a little bit. Oh yeah. You got a lot done over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Putting in some time.
Yeah, man.
Putting in the work.
So
yeah.
That's a technique related question though. When you're getting into those small details and you want to like reduce the jitters, do you have any tricks that you do?
I do. So if I'm really trying to prevent the jitters, I'm going to hold my miniature and I'm going to put my heels of my hand together, right? Like that. And then because I don't normally paint on camera, I can bring it up to my face and then I just hold the miniature and a little pressure on the heels here stops the potential shaking and jitters. And then you just get in there and you just paint what you're going to paint. And you don't have all that. So there's that. The other thing that can also prevent the jitters is using a hobby handle, which I should be using, but I don't have any sticky tack right now.
I got some sticky tack over here, actually. Rick,
could you teleport it here using the Tesseract?
Let me get it over to you.
Nice. Yes. What? I wish we done grab some.
Yeah, that would be nice for you.
That'd be hilarious.
Rick was making fun of me earlier today because what was I missing? Was it the purple? I couldn't find my purple.
Yeah, you couldn't find your purple, and I was like, I got some purple here.
What a jerk.
We had the list. I'm looking for True Blue. I think it's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's exactly the same technique I use when I'm trying to stabilize, like putting the heels of your hand together like that. Because if one wiggles, the whole thing wiggles together. So.
Yep.
I like using the side of the table like so, and I'll kind of do it's the same thing, heels, but I'm using, the table.
Yeah, you put pressure on the table.
Yeah, a little pressure on the table.
Nice.
But I'll do the hands and close to the face, and then you realize when someone comes in the room, and you're like, huh? It's like an Inspector Clouseau moment there. Yeah. Huh?
Huh? What?
Or maybe a Wilson moment from like Home Improvement or something. Oh, hey, neighbor. You know, hey there, neighbor.
Wilson. What a great character.
Right?
All right. So I'm putting on this like Imperial Blue, which is a much darker blue than probably Cap would have. But it's going to be good because I'm going to use a lighter blue to get some of that like cell shading.
Hmm.
So it looks kind of comic booky.
I was going to ask you, are you going to go comic booky and like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
exaggerated dark lines in the recesses and like really white highlights, you know, on the.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do. Well, we'll see how it looks.
See if the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, because we have 3 episodes that we're going to be doing these particular miniatures. So when I see you guys this week, when you come up to the store, as you should, you can probably want to pick a couple more miniatures, and I'll bring in some of my other ones. So if you want to do like a Guardians of the Galaxy, or if you want to do like who was the bad guy from Guardians, the first one, the
Ronan the Accuser.
Roner the Accuser. I have a miniature for him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like the first villain for the Avengers in the comics, I think. Right?
Probably.
Or was he
of
the first one for the Fantastic Four?
That's a good question. He may have been the first galactic villain for the Avengers, because I feel like the Avengers' first villain, and I can't remember. I used to have a Avengers #1 too.
Dang.
Yeah,
The one that got away. You know.
I've had many get away over the years.
Oh.
Like Hulk 181s, Hulk 180s, Spider-Man #1, Amazing Fantasy 15.
Dang. Those are some
Yeah.
big ones.
Yeah, I've had some powerhouse comics in my collections over the years, but something always comes up, and you got to sell some, get rid of them, or you move or whatever. And it's funny is like as a store owner, and we do dabble a little bit in comics, just mainly secondary market stuff. But people come in all the time, and when they see comics, you always get that story. My mom threw them out when I went to college, or when I joined the military, or when I moved out of the house before I could go back and get them, or their dad threw them out, or some parent destroyed their collection. And it's just like, yikes. Every time I hear it, it damages my soul a little bit.
Brings the teen angst all the way back. Dad, you threw my comics out. God.
Oh, Dad, no. Ma.
All right, I have to double check. Ronan the Accuser came from 1967 Fantastic Four.
All right. So
Fantastic find, Will.
Yeah. And Fantastic Fours first came out in 1963.
Yeah, that was issue number 65.
Nice.
And the first villain that the Avengers fought was Loki.
Loki.
Of course it was Loki.
Nice.
All coming back full circle.
That's amazing. The Avengers have had some great villains over the years. And it's interesting that with all the resources that they could delve into, as far as like stories and villains and everything, with the cinematic universe, they've barely scratched the possibilities.
Oh, yeah. I'm holding out hope for Doctor Doom. I want him bad, but they got to do him right.
Well, we'll find out.
They attempted, right? in the first Fantastic Four.
They did. Yeah. I think the actor who played him was great as Victor Von Doom. And then when he became Doctor Doom, I think is when it wasn't his fault. I actually just think that that was it Fox, I believe. Yeah, Fox. Um,
It was the late
uh,
90s, early
that-
2000, right?
yeah, it had the guy from Charmed, who played the bad guy in the Charmed series with the witches
Mm-hmm.
as Doctor Doom, and then he was also in Nip Tuck.
Oh, yeah.
Now you were saying it wasn't his fault that he turned into Doctor Doom, and I was immediately thinking, of course not, because it was Reed's fault.
No, not his
Right.
fault. Just the way that they portrayed him after he became Doctor Doom, like visibly, right? If they would have stuck with the original story of how and why he becomes Doctor Doom, you actually almost care about him, you know? And
Any good villains like that, right? You have to
yeah,
be able to take their side of things a little bit.
yeah, you can see a little bit of yourself, or you can almost see a little bit of their point and go, oh, yeah,
I think it's like as villains go. I think Darth Vader's a lot of people's favorite villains, but because of that, you can
hmm no, absolutely.
really understand. Even when I guess it wasn't until Return of the Jedi, right, where he takes his mask off and you see it was his father, and he's got the they reconnect or whatever.
Wait,
Like,
what?
Oh, sorry, everybody. Spoiler alert.
How do you take this mask off?
Right, that was like
You
the
know,
part where
yeah.
you felt for him, and then when you went back and rewatched it, that was the first time you could do that. And then when 1, 2, 3 came out, you saw that his the hero's journey, his arc, and then his fall when he became that. But yeah, you definitely felt for that character, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many, so much expanded universe content in the comics that talk even more about his, like you said, his hero's journey or his fall from grace.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Did you see that fan? Was I talking to you about it? The fan movie. There's like a trailer. It's like if Lord Vader comes out. I know there's a comic book out right now, like Lord Vader comic book, but it was kind of like Mandalorian-esque, the next Star Wars story, but it was like Lord Vader, and and I caught it, and I told my brother-in-law, and he's like, "You got spoofed," it was like a fan. It was done well.
Yeah, it was. That's one of the great things about technology today is we do get some really cool fan fiction and fan films.
Yeah, absolutely.
Silly editors having access to cool editing programs.
Right. Sorry, I've been on a Star Wars kick. I got a lot. Oh, go ahead, Will.
Oh, we recently got a couple years ago, we got one of the best animated pieces of Warhammer 40K stuff ever it's called Astartes, and that was it's just a fan-made thing, and it's so respectful to the source material. It's animated so well. The sound design is astonishingly good. And like Games Workshop went and they hired the guy soon after that, and after they fired up their own little animation studio. I think because of how much love that guy got, it was wild.
Nice. Is that the same ones? Is he the same one that did the that Blood Angels?
No, Astartes is honestly better, and there's barely any that, like, there's a couple words in the entire thing.
Oh wow, okay.
It's all showing and instead of telling.
Nice.
I think that's my theme tonight.
Yeah, it is. But it's a good theme. Yeah, actions, not words.
Are you picking on me right now? Is this just picking on me? No. Because I'm all words tonight.
What?
I finally got some green and purple on this little guy.
Nice.
Now the waiting begins again.
Letting him dry.
Neat little elevator music.
Right. Doon 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 doon
Have you-
doon 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 doon. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Have you ever used air duster or like keyboard cleaner to speed up your drawing?
I have never done that. It
I would
just
not
seems like it'd
recommend
be too powerful and would push paint around. If you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Now I'm looking to see if I have any.
I'm about to do it.
It's really cold when it comes out too.
It is very cold for sure.
You can't do it upside down or it will freeze. But let's see.
You gonna give it a shot?
I am.
All right.
You madman.
Let's see how it works out. It seems like a long shot there, but let's see how it works out for him.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
Now, just like any regular fan would work, probably just as good, but. Oh, I froze him a little.
Uh-oh.
I was like Spider-Man for a minute there.
It'd be funny if you were doing that to Captain America and froze him.
Oh, my suit.
That'd be great.
He's like, I have a date. Like, what year is this?
What year is this?
Does he have I see a newspaper? You know?
I just want to dance with Peggy. I just want to dance with Peggy Carter.
Did you watch the comic book? What was it? What If? Was it the
I never watched the comic book What If, but I read it.
They got the new series out, right? On Disney. What If?
Yes.
And Carter becomes
Captain Carter. Mm-hmm.
All right, use the lick test to see if it's good. It shocked my tongue. It's good.
Perfect.
Still a little tacky, but that's probably because I went over the polyurethane primer. But the paint little
Oh
dude.
God.
This is gonna be yours, Rick. So that's fine. You're like, what's
Perfect.
that smell with this game? It just never will go away.
Well, that one's going to go in the store's library.
Nice.
Yeah. There we go.
But it did work. It did work, everybody.
Looks looking pretty good. Pretty happy with this little feller. He's
You did
got,
okay.
he got some anger in him, but you know. Oh. Come on.
Okay, there we go. Sort of.
Sort of. But
That's better.
there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got his tongue. You got his tongue going.
Got his tongue, his teeth, his eyes. Yeah. He's ready to go to battle, that guy. All right. I need a good flesh. I don't know if I want to use barbarian flesh on the Black Widow.
Are there any particular runs of Hulk that you've read that you would love to read again or recommend to people who haven't read much Hulk?
He's got his own like future past kind of story arc. It's a 2-issue graphic novel or trade paperback series where Future Hulk, who is known as the Maestro.
Oh yeah, the big old brain.
No, that's the leader. It's imagine the Hulk.
Oh, the
right?
old guy. He's the
Old Hulk with
Yeah.
receding hairline and like liver spot and stuff. Yeah. And then that is Maestro. And he goes into the past or into the future. And it's kind of dark. Like Maestro has all these trophies of all the heroes that he's killed. So he's got Thor's hammer and he's got Cap's shield in his like little trophy thing. He's got all these women that are hanging on him around his throne, and he has them all, and they're all named Betty, which is really creepy, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't like it now. No, I don't like it. Back to the air duster.
get it.
I think I saw this on a Reddit once.
Okay. I know some folks that have used like an actual blow dryer on low to
That's better. That's not a waste of resources here.
right.
It's like,
Oh man, we should probably do shout outs
nah.
considering the hour.
Oh wow. Yeah. We'd like to give a big shout out to all of you who are watching. We appreciate you. Tell us where you're from in the chat. We also would like to say thank you to the Army Painter, to Game Envy, the makers of hobby handles, the fun little cup that we use here. It's a collapsible, portable paint cup. War Paint Fanatics from the Army Painter. Tabletop Gurus at tabletopgurus.com. Hoplite Games here in Lansing, Michigan, where we are currently broadcasting from. Gen Con TV and Gen Con for allowing us the opportunity to come here weekly and hang out and have a hobby hangout with you all and talk about miniatures and painting. Because here's the thing. Whether you are painting just for the fun of it or for the competition, painting is for everybody. It is an amazing hobby. It can be very calming. It can get you out of a headspace and put you into a Zen kind of state sometimes, depending on whether you listen to like kind of calming music when you paint, or my voice, my calm voice, or Mark and Will's voice as we are painting and talking.
Our calming voice.
Yeah, I think it might be that why a lot of people watch us. But it is a fun hobby, and we love it that you come and join us, whether you chat with us or not. We always see that there's a lot of folks down there. Hey, what's up, B-Town? B-Town MC, Indiana. Nice. Are you going to be at Origins Game Fair in June? That'll be a fun show. And they have a really fun paint and take event there. But yeah, so shout out to Gen Con TV, and all the other content creators that are making amazing content here on this platform for as far as Gen Con. Hello. I will not be there in June. I love that show, though. Nice. It is a fun show. What are you currently painting? Because inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
I think she's wearing gloves. I need to check this.
I
Yep,
need to
she's wearing gloves.
check the source material.
Yep, she's wearing gloves. All right.
It's a hand and glove situation.
Right.
Brilliant.
All right.
I see what you did there.
And if you want to find out what other programs are on here, you can always check the schedule for Gen Con TV here. But if you haven't yet, hit that heart, hit that bell for notifications, so when anybody comes on, you don't miss out on all the amazing content being provided and produced that promotes positively the hobby and the industry that is bringing fun, hopefully, to you and your friends. Yeah. So, and big shout out to Simon for making this game and having these fun miniatures for us to paint. It's actually been a lot of fun. Look at that. That flesh looks pretty good on her.
And B-Town's painting some War Machine minis.
Oh,
Nice.
snap.
Oh, nice.
Some Warma hordes.
That is a
Super
fun
cool.
game.
Yeah.
And they have the new version that came out.
Nice.
Yeah. A
Yeah,
buddy
Mark-
of mine was
Mark
really,
5.
really into it.
Is it Mark 5 right now, I think? Mark 4, Mark 5, something like that.
The gentleman in the chat should know. He should let us know.
Yeah.
I think they streamlined some of the rules, which it definitely needed.
Yeah.
It was quite bloaty. It wasn't like modifiers add plus to it. It was like add 17, add 23, and it was like, what's happening here? Let me get out my my abacus.
Right? How do you know I still use one of those?
I could tell. I could just tell.
Nice.
Yeah, B-Town says, did they come out with 4 already?
He's still got boxes of. He's painting the metal ones still. He's got boxes,
Nice.
which those are cool.
Until you have to glue them together.
The pinning is a thing. Yeah, you got to pin them, and I have a pin vise somewhere around here from when I got into the hobby for a minute, and then everything went plastic.
I actually pinned my first miniature recently.
Really?
Yep, I've never done it before, and I picked up some miniatures at Adepticon that were made of resin,
Okay.
and there's like a spear for one of the creatures. So he had his hand, and you had the one spear end with this connection point here, and the other went to the connection point on the back of the hand. But it just seemed like it would be weak. So Brian, who's hanging out here right now, hey Brian, you see, and so he brought in some materials, and I pinned the spear, and that was the first time I ever done it, and it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Nope. I was just shouting you out, buddy.
You need help in there, he says?
Yeah. Need anything? No, we're good. Counting them out.
Not a sponsor, but they should. I've been digging on some Gorilla Glue, the super glue gel, actually.
Oh, nice.
Will, what are your
Gorilla
thoughts on the Gorilla Glue?
Gorilla Glue. It's
I
got a
haven't used the
grip.
gel.
What's that?
I
It's
haven't
got the
used the
grip.
gel. It's got the grip. I haven't used the gel. I've used the regular kind of super glue stuff, and I love it. It's really good.
Nice. I'm checking as I remember Mark III, but the rules were backwards compatible, so you could use your previous minis, just have to download new cards. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Very nice. Ah, that shield. I return to the shield.
Yeah, I'm going to be cleaning up this shield for a while, I can tell.
Yeah. If I knew how to do non-metallic metals, that'd be kind of cool too, to make it look like metallic white and metallic red. But
Yeah.
I do not know how to do that. It's a skill set that has evaded me. So again, it'll just look like a comic book or cartoony. Yes.
Mark IV doesn't have some of the factions anymore. That's a bummer.
Yeah. Super
Nobody
bummer,
likes losing their dudes.
right?
Do they at least get boiled into other factions, or you can still use the minis for something? You just have to play the old game.
I was really surprised at the Privateer Press booth at Adepticon this year. It seemed very small and
Too private, maybe.
yeah, too privateery. Yeah.
Speaking of Adepticon, did you hear the bomb that they dropped?
Milwaukee.
Which has, a history for having great cons there. Gen Con used to be there.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm excited for it to be in Milwaukee.
is there stuff in Milwaukee that you love to do?
There is. So there is a restaurant bar place called the Safe House.
Oh, I
It
think
has
you mentioned this before.
Yep. It has a spy theme to it, like a 007 spy theme.
Fun.
And yeah, so you can when you go there, Mrs. Pennyworth is sitting at a switchboard, a telephone switchboard, right? And there's in a room with a bunch of library bookshelves things going on, right? And she will ask you if you would like dinner or drinks, and depending on what you say, she'll ask you if you know the password to get into the safe house. If you know the password, you are directed, and like a wall opens up in the bookshelf, and you can walk down this passageway into the into the bar, or she just opens the door and you go into the restaurant for dinner. But if you don't know the password, then you are, I wouldn't say humiliated, but you have to perform a act of some sort. And like the first time I went, I had to wear a hula skirt and coconut bikini thing and do a little hula dance. And so then after I did that, they open up the thing and you get to walk into the bar, and there's monitors all over the bar that show what's going on in that room. So everybody in the bar just saw you act a fool and to gain entry, and it's worth it. It's super fun.
That is cool.
Yeah,
I bet you that woman loves her job.
I would think so. But yeah, I had a lot of fun in my early life going to Gen Con while it was in Milwaukee. Or just for that reason alone, it was just a good time to go and hang out. And you never know who's going to be at the safe house. So could be anybody, like David Duchovny.
You met David Duchovny?
Yep. At
Agent
the safe house.
Mulder?
Yep, at the safe house, which is really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Was he doing something at Gen Con? Was he doing like an appearance?
He was. Yep. They had the X-Files card game had just come out, and he was there as a promotional piece, helping market or whatever he was doing there, signing autographs and being David Duchovny. And it was super fun. He just kind of hung out at the bar, in the bar, and people watched. So,
I mean, that poor dude got so typecast. He can't really. What else can he be?
He did that Californication thing that was like much different, though. Did you see
much different. Yes,
much different.
Much different. Probably not appropriate to
For
explore
today.
how different it was on this particular broadcast.
But when you grow up enough, everybody, check that out.
I did not know.
Yeah.
I did not know.
My poor innocent eyes.
So I'm hoping I won't have to pin this fellow together because this
The giant?
this hot resin, non-resin, Yatner.
Jotner? Yes, so good. Are you going to play that this week?
Yeah, it'll be next week when I'm getting a game in.
Okay.
Because we got 2 weeks out, right? For the
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, it'll get me up to where I need to be without having to put 12 other guys together. So
Nice.
like a lazy war gamer, I will add this.
Nice. All right. Again, for those of you watching, if you haven't done so yet, please hit the follow or the bell in the heart, right? Give us a follow. Hit the bell so you get all the notifications whenever one of the other amazing content creators goes live on Gen Con TV. So you can check out all the cool content being created. And if you have the capability, give us a subscription. Subscribe to the channel. If you have Amazon Prime, you should be able to do a free subscription because you get one with Amazon Prime. And if you haven't used it yet, why not use it on Gen Con TV? Because every little bit helps, and it may help bring more content to the channel that you all might be like, ooh, sweet. So. I'm curious as to like what would be some other content people would like, because there's some really good stuff on here.
And I'm really enjoying doing this this cap. It's been a fun one to paint so far.
Nice.
You can see it there. Yeah. It's coming along all right.
As a matter of fact, I just used my Prime to resubscribe.
Oh,
I'm going to share right there. You just earned a subscription badge. Nice.
Nice work.
Thank you.
oh, dang! I can do that too.
Boom.
Let's do it. I wasn't sure when that came out.
And there we go.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Now, B-Town says that the Mark III is an easy game to teach. Well, that's good.
Nice.
It's nice.
Heck yeah. Very cool.
It's fun to be the guy who helps show people how to play too. It gets rewarding once you help build up the community.
Agreed. Because you do that for Conquest
I do.
and many other games, actually. But Conquest, you are in what's called a Vanguard. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes. And it's been rewarding, like getting to actually talk with the creator and stuff about it too. So seeing how passionate they are as well, like that's rewarding, and watching how much fun people are having with the game.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. A little more flesh on Cap here before I get in there and do his eyes as well. Oh yeah, Cap. There you go. Very cool. All right. Well, we're pretty much at our time.
How'd that
Look at
happen?
that. I know, right?
Episode 11. Let's just say season 3, episode 11.
Nice. That was fast.
It's
Also,
pretty-
yeah. Wow.
We got a few more episodes for the rest of the season because we're going to go up to the week before Gen Con for season 3. Then season 4 will start like a week or two after Gen Con, and we'll do our whole like post Gen Con report. Right. I'm going to take some pictures of some miniatures that are at the Gen Con painting areas and other miniatures that are at different booths, right? And be like, oh, that's super cool. But yeah, if you're able to go to Gen Con and if you see any of us running around, stop us and be like, hey, paint more minis. And we'll be like, okay, fine. Yeah, we'll do that.
Right. Yes.
Jesus. God. But until next time, this has been Path of the Brush. We got Mark and Will. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. I'm Rick, and I hope to see you all at a friendly local game store.